Kirsten, the Problem Solving Teacher and Teachers Pay Teachers author. If you like my videos, please remember to like and subscribe. Leave a comment below and hit the notification bell when you do any of those things. It helps other teachers like you find me on YouTube. Okay, today we are going to be talking about how to start a channel on YouTube. So I'm going to give you 7 steps for how you can start your own YouTube channel if that's something that you've been interested in. So starting a channel on YouTube, because it's like you're on video and it's there for pretty much everybody to see unless you create it private, but pretty much you're creating it so people can see it and watch you. And it can be really intimidating. But you can start a channel on YouTube. It's not too late to get started, just because there's all these other people who have been doing it for a long time. You can start creating content for YouTube. All right, so I started my YouTube channel. When I started creating resources for Teachers Pay Teachers, I started to research and look for podcasts and YouTube videos that could help me figure out how to do it. And in the process, as I was watching other sellers, I decided that I was hearing all of these things about, how to brand your store and how to create resources, and I kept hearing about long form content, and I was just looking at what other teacher sellers were doing, and one of the things a lot of them were doing was creating a YouTube channel. And so when I looked at it and I was thinking about planning out my business, I decided each month that I would try to tackle one of those bigger things. So in January, I tried to do blogging. In February, I don't even remember what I tried to do in February. I think it might have been Pinterest, because I had never done Pinterest before. And then in March, I knew I was going to do YouTube. And so knowing that it would be something big to tackle, I actually kind of started in January, and in January, every Sunday, I started recording a video. So that by the time I was ready to actually tackle that part of content creation, I already had a good backlog of material to work with. So that made it easier for me. And so I decided that YouTube would just kind of be a natural progression for my business, because if I was serious about growing it, seeing what other successful people did and then doing it my own way would be a way for me to grow and expand my business. So I did it. I jumped in and I did it. Starting a YouTube channel can be beneficial. I mean, that's why people do it, because there are benefits to it. Once you grow your channel big enough, I believe it's 1,000 subscribers, then then you can monetize and they will pay you money per watching. But more than that, more than the money aspect of it, is you can create a channel about what you want. So you can create a channel about what you do in your business, or you can create a channel explaining your resources or how to teach something. YouTube provides a platform for more people to find you and your business and become invested in you. And one of the things that's great about it is people make a bigger connection with you because it is video and they see you and they hear you talking. It's not just like social media where they might not actually see your face. YouTube is also a great opportunity to share what you know with others. In this world we live in, whenever I need to know something, I tend to go to YouTube. And actually my husband and my brother-in-law were just talking about who is going to open the pool that is at my parents' house. And they were like, my brother-in-law's like, I don't know how to do it. How do you know how to do it? It's like secret information. And my husband's like, watch a YouTube video, because it's where you can find answers for how to do everyday things and more complex things. So it just gives more people to find you on this platform and become invested in you and start to want to find you other places and follow what you're doing. So one of the biggest things about YouTube in starting a channel and being on video is that it is intimidating. Have you ever heard of imposter syndrome? I didn't hear about imposter syndrome until I started in the Teachers Pay Teachers world, and then everybody was talking about it, and I read about it in a whole bunch of books that had nothing to do with Teachers Pay Teachers too. And so it is just, you're gonna eventually hear about it. So other sellers kept saying that they were surprised someone would want to buy a lesson that they created, or they would say they didn't feel like they knew enough or were good enough to sell on Teachers Pay Teachers or create online content. This feeling of not being good enough is imposter syndrome. Because you know a lot. If you've been in the classroom for a year, you know a lot. If you've been in the classroom for 10 years, you know even more. You know a lot about teaching, and you have degrees and an education and experience. And the truth is that you are never gonna feel ready. It's not like, oh, I feel so ready to do this. But the truth is, you are ready. So just go for it, just start. All right, we are gonna go on to some things that you might need to know as you begin this YouTube journey. So these are 7 tips to help you get started with recording YouTube videos. Some of the things that you wanna consider before you hit the record button. First of all, you need to create a YouTube account. Decide on if you want to create a login, if you want to use what you currently have, if you're going to use an email, if you're going to use Gmail. You want to be sure that your username that you create has to do with your teacher business. You want to stay on brand with all of that. There are also some banners that you can create and put up in YouTube, and you want to do that so that your YouTube channel is on brand just like everything else. Number 2 is you can use any camera to help you get started with your YouTube channel. I happen to use a camera that I bought before my son was born. So my birthday's in October, he was born in December. My husband asked me what I wanted for my birthday. I said I want a good camera to take pictures of him with. So he got me a camera, and that's just what I happen to use. It's a Sony, I don't even know what, but you can use any camera. And truth be told, cameras on phones are fantastic these days, so you can definitely use that camera. You do not need to make a huge investment in a fancy camera. If you are using the camera on your phone, what you do want to be aware of is that you should use it in normal mode, not selfie mode. Because when you flip yourself, I think it's easier to flip it so you can see yourself recording. But when you use normal mode, that camera is better quality than the selfie mode camera. So set it up so that you are not looking at yourself. Check your frame, have somebody check it, make sure that you're in the frame, and use the normal mode camera because it's just going to be a better quality. Then all right, number three. When you are starting a YouTube channel, you want to have decent lighting. Again, you do not need to have a big investment to start this. You can simply start by sitting in a sunny window and having natural light behind you. As long as you have a natural light filled place to record, you will have decent lighting. Once you do your first recording, you want to check the video and make sure that the lighting really is decent and that everything is okay before you continue recording in that spot. For me, natural lighting was really important. A lot of the lights in my house tend to give a yellow tint whenever we take pictures and everything, and I find it very frustrating. So having the natural lighting is what I did for like the first 5 months. And then once I was 5 months into recording, for Mother's Day, my husband got me a ring light. Ring lights are so common and popular now. After the 2020 COVID-19 pandemic, when everybody was working from home and everybody was like, ooh, that's a terrible picture of me on all of their calls, people started getting ring lights for their house. So now it's pretty common. Again, a ring light, it doesn't have to be a huge investment. They make some pretty cheap ones now. This is the box for the one I have. It's a Sensi ring light set. So it's SENSYNE, just in case that's hard to see on camera. So it comes with a tripod and the ring light. And so that is what I use for my recording. I can set the tripod to different heights, and it's pretty easy to use. So that's what I use. But again, you don't need a ring light, but you can use it. All right, number 4, when you record a video on YouTube, you want to have decent sound quality, because if you are recording videos for your audience, obviously you want that audience to be able to hear you. So you want to have a decent sound quality. Again, the microphone on your camera is pretty decent. I still use the microphone on my Sony camera, and that sound quality is pretty decent as well. You just have to make sure that the house around you is fairly quiet. So that would be one of the things to consider, is how quiet is your house when you are trying to record. If you'd like a better microphone, there are some decent ones that are not too expensive out there. There are some great options. One of the ones, because I haven't used it yet, so one of the ones that I've heard is good is, I'm going to give you the name and you can check the show notes for a link, is a CAD Audio U37 USB Studio Condenser Recording Microphone. Okay, so again, that's a CAD Audio U37 USB Studio Condenser Recording Microphone, and there'll be a link in the show notes, so if you want a better quality microphone, you can go ahead for that. Number 5 is, sometimes when you are recording tutorials or other, information techniques, you want to share your computer screen. You do not want to hold the camera to your screen and show people that way. It does not work good. So you want to use a program like Loom. Loom allows you to record your computer screen, and while you are recording, you can put yourself in a little circle, and you can move that little circle of yourself into different parts so that it doesn't interfere with what you are talking about. Loom does have some free versions, and once you're done with like the free trial version, you can do 5-minute videos for free. So I don't use Loom super often, but when I do, I just do several 5-minute videos and then I edit them together. But Loom is a great option when you are trying to share something on your computer screen. Number 6, when you're starting a YouTube channel, is you want to start with simple editing. You're a beginner, keep it simple. Don't stress. I'm very lucky. I had my husband help me set up my template for all of my YouTube videos. I still use that same template, and it doesn't have to be complex, okay? So generally you want to find an intro that says your name and title. I use first I have my logo for my Teachers Pay Teachers store, and then I have a title slide that tells you the title of the episode, and then it's me. I also have some music playing in the background. You have to find royalty-free music to use in your video, otherwise YouTube will be upset that you're trying to use other music. It can take a little bit of searching to find something decent, but it is possible, so take a look around. If you know a musician who'd be willing to record something for you, get them to record something. All right, one of my favorite editing tricks happens when I record. I try to make editing easier for myself. Before I record, I hit the button and then I count to 5. Just silently, I smile and I count to 5 in my head, and then I record, I do all my talking, I do all of the things that I say, everything I need to say, and then I smile and I count to 5 again. And then I press the stop button. This makes it really easy for me when I'm recording, because I can simply cut off that beginning and end so you guys aren't seeing me reach for the camera, because that's awkward. So that little 5 count in and out makes it easier in the editing process. I'm not afraid that I'm cutting myself off from talking or missing something. For editing, I use iMovie. That comes free on my Mac. So because I keep it so simple, free editing software is fine. If I was trying to do more complex things, trying to do more details in my editing, I might want something else, and who knows what the future holds. But right now, it covers all of my editing needs. There are definitely more editing techniques out there, and you'll learn them as you go, especially if YouTube becomes your thing and you love making videos. You're gonna be watching so many videos on how to do some advanced editing techniques, but these are very simple. At the end of my videos, have my 5 count out. I splice it in the correct spot. There's a little card that says thank you for watching, and I have a little music that ends it. It's the same music from the beginning. So that's everything you need to know about a simple edit. If you know someone who's really great with video editing, have them help you create a template, and then it's super easy to switch in and out the videos. So, you know, I have my template that my husband helped me with, and now I can very easily edit my YouTube videos. All right, number 7. You need to pick your niche before you start a YouTube channel. It's one of the most important things you can do, is to decide who your focus audience is going to be. Who are you talking to? What's your niche? Who are you recording videos for? Then you want to make all of your videos speak to that person. My first couple of videos were kind of like all over the place, but since like my first 3 videos, I speak to teacherpreneurs on this channel. That's it, teacherpreneurs. If I wanted to start making videos about my resources or another part of my business or something like that, then I would create another YouTube channel. And here's why. If I have 2 audiences watching one YouTube channel, YouTube will send out the notification and be like, hey, this person made a new video for you. And the people who are teacherpreneurs would be like, ooh, great, I'm gonna watch it. And the people who are just teachers and want to know about resources are going to be like, well, that's not for me. I'm not going to watch it. So then YouTube says, well, we sent your video to 10 of your subscribers. 5 of them watched it and 5 of them didn't. So it's probably not a very good video. So we won't show it to anybody else. So it kind of slows your growth. They don't show it to as many people, and it slows you down. So if you want to talk about 2 different things, start 2 different channels. All right, so the big takeaway is decide who your audience will be and record for them. I have one final recording tip for you, and it should be obvious, but it needs saying. The last piece of advice is to look at the camera while you talk. Logical, right? Like, of course I'm gonna look at the camera, that's where the audience is, but it feels really awkward to talk to a camera, so a lot of people struggle with that. It felt so weird at first, but now I'm more used to it. So look at the camera, talk to the people that you're talking to. I sometimes have to look down. I have all of my recording notes on my iPad here, so I'm not rambling. I'll glance down at that. There are people who will put like a list of talking points, just like a post-it note, and they'll stick it right next to their camera so that they have to look at the camera in order to see their next talking point. So there are definitely tricks that you can use to help you along the way, but you want to make sure that you are talking to your audience, not the ceiling, not the light, not whatever else is around you. Yeah, make as much eye contact with your audience as possible. All right, if you like my videos, please remember to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you have questions, leave them in the comments, and I'll try to answer them better. And have an awesome day.